Hello, traders. FX Pip Collector here. Today is Tuesday, January 21st, and we're going to be looking at the US dollar pairs, including gold and the US dollar index. And then we're going to check out a couple of the JPY pairs. If you haven't done so already, definitely join my free Discord trading community. It is 100% free to join. We have about 5,700 members right now, so definitely check it out. 100% free to join. If you would like to join my membership, you do so by signing up at my website, fxpipcollector.com, and that will get you access to all these benefits listed down here below for only $30 per month. So a very, very, very cheap membership program. So first thing first, I always like to check out the news calendar for the day and see what we got going on. So yeah, we have this German economic statement coming out in a few minutes. Possibly could do some stuff to the euro, definitely. But today the highlight is definitely the Canadian CPI. We got inflation data coming out for Canada today, so that should be a pretty good one to keep an eye out for. They're forecasting that it's not really going to change a whole lot. It's maybe going to go from maybe like 2.6 to 2.5. So we'll see if that's accurate or not. But that definitely is the highlight of the day. So keep an eye on those Canadian pairs, especially today. Yesterday was the inauguration for the president, and Donald Trump is now the president of the United States again. So depending on what he does, there definitely could be some unscheduled events that cause the market to move, depending on what he does these first few days. So definitely keep an eye on maybe your news feed for some unscheduled Donald Trump related news. So, anyways, I always like to start off on the US dollar index. To me, it's one of the most important analysis that you can do by far. I mean, nothing's really changed. Yes, we had a pretty important event yesterday, but it never broke any structure. The trend is 100% still up on the US dollar. I still think that this first five waves down over here is an A. I still think this is one, two, three waves up for three waves of A, which is an A or B. One, two, three waves down for three waves of B. So A, B, and then I still think this is a one, two, three, four, and I still think we need to go up again for a wave five. So this would be a 3-3-5 pattern for an A, B, C of wave B. Once this wave B is complete, this probably will end up continuing the downtrend, making the trend probably pretty much equal to this trend over here. So we definitely will need to keep an eye out for this major turn that we're waiting for, because that's a lot of pips to the downside, or potentially a lot of pips to the upside on most of these dollar pairs. I personally think it's still going to be a couple weeks before we actually get this big turn. And right now, like I said, the trend is definitely up on basically every single time frame for the US dollar. So moving on to the euro dollar, we'll start off there. Now, the euro dollar definitely made a very, very nice move to the upside yesterday, but did it break structure? Did it do anything at all to tell you that this big downtrend is over? The trend is your friend, and if anything, to me, it looks like three waves up. So I honestly would not be surprised if this does go down, and it does go down to make a new low. The trend is definitely your friend, and if we actually go up to the weekly time frame, the next Fibonacci retracement level is actually all the way down at the 1.01 area. So it would make a lot of sense for me if this actually went down and touched that 61% Fibonacci retracement of this move up on the weekly time frame. So keeping that in mind, taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, I like to zoom out a little on the 1 hour. This right here definitely looks to me like an uptrend, like a wave A. This definitely looks to me like an ABC of B. And if you've been following along with my videos, then just like me and the members of my group, you probably had a really nice long opportunity yesterday. I actually got into this trade last week, but this was a really nice trade. I did exit already. I think it looks like an ABC correction. It was not able to break structure. The trend is still down on the higher time frames. It actually looks like it's trying to break structure to the downside, and it's making a lower high. I personally would be keeping an eye out for shorts. If that really is the end of an ABC correction, then this probably will continue to drift down over the next week or so, potentially even making a new low on the daily time frame. So definitely keeping an eye out for some shorts for sure. Pound dollar. Let's go back up to the daily time frame. Let's go all the way up to the weekly too, because the euro dollar also wasn't at a Fibonacci level, and this one isn't either. We actually are beyond the 78% also, and normally when you go beyond the 78% of any given move, it will end up taking out the previous low. So I do think on the weekly time frame, this will end up going down and it will end up taking out the previous low of this last low right here. So overall, I'm definitely very, very bearish on the dollar pair still. Going down to the daily, we had a pretty strong move to the upside, but did it break any structure? Did it do anything at all to tell us that this big downtrend is over? Absolutely not. So what does that mean? That means that this move up that we're currently seeing probably is still another correction to the last wave down. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, like I said, I like to zoom out a little bit. If you have been following along with my videos, you probably had a pretty nice long because I was talking about this long before this move even happened. I personally think this is an A. I personally think it's a B, and it looks like a C. It looks like it made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up to a Fibonacci level. Looks like it made an impulsive move down. It looks like a break of structure. It looks like the end of a correction. And it looks to me like it's probably going to end up going down and breaking these lows and probably making a new low. The trend is your friend, and the higher time frames are definitely telling you to look for sorts at the end of three-way pullbacks. And we definitely just had probably the completion of a three-way pullback. So moving on to the Aussie dollar, let's go all the way up to the weekly on the Aussie too. The Aussie dollar did actually go down and take out the low of the previous move. So I mean, it definitely did hit that move. Now, I think this is a wave C, and a wave C should have a relationship to the first move down, which in this case would be this move right here. So the 100% of this move projected off of here is actually right there. So that is definitely my target for this Aussie dollar. So I'm definitely still very bearish. I think it could reach the 0.6, 0.6000 area pretty easily. So definitely still pretty bearish on that. Going to the daily time frame, yes, we had a very strong move to the upside, but did we have a break of structure? Definitely not. The downtrend is definitely still active. No break of structure. The trend is your friend, so we should be looking for shorts on shorter time frames. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, just like the other pairs, I think it ended in ABC correction already. You'll notice that this really looks like 5 waves up over here. This really looks like a corrective pattern over here. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up over here. Definitely looks to me like an ABC correction. Nice impulsive down, nice break of structure, excuse me. I think it's the end of an ABC correction, and if it is the end of an ABC correction, I mean, it could make some slight moves to the upside, but it will likely, on the, around the 1 hour time frame, continue to make lower lows, lower highs, and the higher time frame downtrend is probably back in action, if I had to guess. Moving down to the Kiwi dollar, I don't really analyze the Kiwi dollar. It's exactly the same as the Aussie dollar. US dollar CAD. Now, this is another pair. Now, I personally do think that this is all part of like a big WXY. I still think it needs to go down and make a big old wave Y. I think this is an A. I think we made an A, B, C, D, E of wave B, and I think eventually it needs to go down and make a wave Y. So I'm definitely still, I do think that we have a big bearish move coming, but I'm not convinced that it's ready for that move yet. Now, this is kind of a good little learning lesson yesterday, too, because it definitely made a huge impulsive move down yesterday at the news. Did it break structure? Well, it tried to break structure, but it rejected it instantly. What does a rejection of structure normally mean? That normally means that the higher time frame trend is probably still active. Definitely rejected structure and then went all the way back up and made a new high. So yeah, definitely still in an uptrend. I mean, there is a possibility that this is a 3, this is a 4, or a wave 5, and that it turns down today at the Canadian news. But if the US dollar is telling us the correct story, then this is actually probably still pretty bullish, and it might actually potentially just keep on going up. The US dollar does not look like it's over, and the dollar CAD is probably not over yet either. We do have Canadian news coming out today, so we do have to be aware of that. But overall, the trend is definitely up. This is a very sideways pattern right here, but I definitely see some clarity because it looks like 3 waves down W. It looks like 3 waves up X. It looks like 3 waves down. Whoops, I'm sorry, missed that first. 3 waves down for Y. So WXY for a triple three pattern, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So I think this is 5 up for wave 5. This is a wave 3. This WXY is a wave 4. So this is a 3, 4, 5 of wave 3. Then what I think happened is that this move down right here is an A. This right here made 1, 2, 3 waves up for a B. Then this sharp move that we made down at the inauguration yesterday was a C. And then what happened is it ended another ABC crescent and pushed back up. So really, I mean, to be honest with you, the best analysis or the best thing we can really be doing now would be putting your Fibonacci retracement on this move up right here, like this. Oops, you gotta catch that bottom. There we go. So we want to put our Fibonacci retracement on this move up, and we want to be watching this move down to see if it makes 1, 2, 3 waves down to a Fibonacci retracement level. If it does, I would continue to go long every single chance I get because the trend is your friend, and the trend is definitely still up. Like I was showing you on the daily time frame, this thing may very likely just continue to trend up on the much higher time frames. US dollar Swiss, another pair that I've been talking about for a while that we should really be bullish on this. We had a pretty strong move down, but no breaker structure. The trend is still up. I think it's a wave A or a wave 1, and most A wave 1s do take out the high of the previous wave 4, which we have not done yet. I still think this is going to go up and grab those highs before we even remotely think about making a bigger move to the downside. Going down to the 1 hour time frame is where I got my Fibonacci retracement on the last push up. And I think we have the end of a crescent already. I think this is 5 waves of A. I think this is 3 waves of B. I think this is 5 waves of C. Definitely pretty dang close to hitting the 78%. Nice impulsive up, nice breaker structure. Looks to me like the end of a crescent. Looks like it is likely to keep on going up. Especially because I think so many people are probably trying to sort the dollar. I think that they are probably going to get burnt pretty bad. And moving on to gold. Gold is definitely a lot different than the other dollar pairs because gold does what gold does. But I definitely think there's some pretty nice clarity here. First of all, we have a very nice downtrend with a breaker structure, weekly time frame break, wave A. I think this is an A up. I think this is clearly 3 waves down, so A, B. And I think that this is an uptrend for a C. So I do think this is an A, B, C, a B. And I do think at some point we're going to make a big downtrend for a wave C. Where's the most likely place for a wave C to go normally? It's normally the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave A projected off the bottom of wave B, which actually in this case puts us all the way up to about the, I don't know, right around the 2780 area. Maybe a little lower, maybe 2770, someplace in that area. So I would, unless this goes down and gives us a nice break of structure, I definitely would still be very bullish. We just took out these highs right here, so I mean it could reject that structure and go down, but it definitely doesn't have to. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, we should probably put our Fibonacci retracement from the low to the high. I personally am not really trading the short time frames. That's why sometimes I don't do that on the 1 hour, but look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. We definitely have a break, which tells us that this wave right here is complete. Now, we have to keep an eye on it. I mean, really, the only thing that's going to tell us that this move up is over is a significant break of structure. For me, the most significant break of structure would be right here. So the only thing that's going to tell me that this thing is going down in a big way is if it goes down and breaks this low right here. Otherwise, if it goes down, we have to assume that it very likely could be another correction to the last wave up. So keep an eye on your fib retracement levels. If you see any kind of a three-way pullback like this, 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves down, and just like this, 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves down, anything like that, 1, 2, 3 waves down, then I would definitely take it as another long opportunity for the continuation of the uptrend, unless it decides to go down and give us a break of structure. Then I would turn into a long-term seller because it's likely in a big wave C on the weekly time frame, which would probably put us down to maybe 2400 or so. So definitely still bullish until proven otherwise. Moving on to the US dollar yen. The US dollar yen definitely did give us a break of structure, so I mean, for the most part, I'm definitely bearish on this. And looking at the other yen pairs, which I always consider the dollar yen more of a yen pair than a dollar pair, because if you compare it to the yen pairs, it's very similar. If you compare it to the dollar pairs, it's very different. So, anyways, we do have a breakdown. I personally think that the way B is over. I personally think yes, we may go up, but I think that we very likely are going to be starting a downtrend on the yen pairs. I think that this is an A, I think this is a B, and I think we're going to go down for a wave C. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame. So we do have 5 hours on the 5 waves on the 1 hour time frame. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. So first of all, I got my Fibonacci retracement from here to here, because if it breaks this high right here, then we know that the 5 waves is over. So I would then put my Fibonacci retracement on the whole 5 waves. But for now, this move that we're up that we're currently getting could just be a correction to this last wave down. So if it does decide to make 3 waves up to a Fibonacci level and then go down, then I would definitely go short. If it decides to go up, break structure, then I would put my Fibonacci retracement on all 5 waves, and then I would observe it to see if it makes an ABC like this, ABC, and then turns back down, or whether it makes a 1, 2, 3 and just keeps on trending up. To be honest with you, the dollar index, I'm still very bullish, so this dollar yen definitely could go up and make a new high pretty easily. There's a chance that this is actually a wave C on the daily time frame, but until we get a break of this high right here, I'd be very cautious in assuming that this is the beginning of a big uptrend. Moving on to the euro yen. Now, I think there's a lot of different opinions and ways that you can look at this, but I personally think that this is an A. I think we already have 1, 2, 3 waves up for a B. I think that this is just going to keep on going down for a bigger wave C on the weekly time frame. I think we're at an ABC on the weekly, probably an ABC of 4. So if that's the case, we probably have a lot of downside left in us. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, zoom out a little bit. On the 1 hour time frame, I mean, if it breaks structure to the upside, then I would definitely become very, very bullish. But if it decides to make any sort of a 3-way pattern, an A, maybe something like this for a B, and then up for a C, and then give us a Fibonacci bounce, then I definitely would go short. If this is really in a wave C on the higher time frames, then we got a lot of downside potential. We definitely want to pay attention to our fib levels. Any move we see to the upside could just be a correction to this last move down. Just like this move up right here is just a correction to this, and this move up right here is just a correction to this. This move up right here could just be a correction to this last wave down pretty easily. And moving on to the pound yen. The pound is still very weak from some negative news that we had a while back. But overall, it's the same as the euro again. I mean, I personally think this is an A. I think that the wave B is already over. I think that we're already in a wave C on the much higher time phase and that it might just keep on going down. If you go all the way out to the weekly on the euro yen or the pound yen, you can see what I mean about the A, B, C of 4. A, B, and then potentially down for a wave C. I mean, yeah, it could pop up a little, but the downtrend, I think, is definitely active on both the pound yen and the euro yen. So keep that in mind. Going down to the daily, I mean, if it does decide to break structure to the upside on the daily time frame, if it breaks this high right here, then I definitely would become bullish again. But until that happens, I'm definitely looking at this move up as likely just a correction to this last move down, and this likely continuing the downtrend. So going down right down to the 1 hour time frame, zooming back out a little bit, because on the 1 hour, I'm literally just looking for entries. I'm not trying to count any waves really or nothing. So on the 1 hour time frame, like I said, this move up could be a correction to this move down. We got our Fibonacci retracement on this move down. This move up looks like a trend, so it's probably an A. So if it does decide to make a B and then go up and make a C and give you a Fibonacci bounce, like this, maybe like a double top and a break of structure, then that would make for a really nice shorting opportunity. And if we really are in a wave C of wave 4 on the much higher time frames, then we have a lot of downside potential. If it decides to go up and break structure, then I'll definitely be happy to start looking for longs after the break of structure and after the pullback that would come after the break of structure. So as far as all these other pairs are concerned, I do analyze these every single day for my or every single weekday in the members roadmap tabs for my members. I also do daily Zoom meetings, and I also do share every single trade I take with my members at the time of entry. So if anybody is interested, the link for that is fxcollector.com to join. It is only $30 per month. If you would like to just join my free trading community, then you're more than welcome to join and stay a free member for as long as you like. The link for my free trading community is at the end of this video up here and in the description of the video. So as always, thank you very much and happy trading.